Hello. Yes, I'm drinking my tea. I have fallen behind on some of my projects, and then I realized, well, I really didn't fall behind. I just took on too many. It's all how you look at it. Oh. So I had several people ask about my black and white journals and if I was going to put any into my shop. And I kept saying yes, 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 and I haven't, and I can't until I do my jelly printing on the black paper that I put into them. So I figured, well, I was going to do the jelly printing on the black paper so I could get those journals going. So I figured, hey, maybe you want to watch. Maybe you want to tell me what I'm doing wrong. You know how it goes. It feels good. It's still stinking cold over here. I know pretty soon I'll be complaining that it's hot, but right now I'm just going to complain that it's cold. Oh, let me go put my sign out there. I forgot to put it out there so my husband knows what I'm doing. This is what I put on my back door. Filming, close set. That way he knows. Keep quiet when he walks in. Okay. So that's pretty much what we're going to do. We're going to do a little bit of jelly plating on some black paper. And we're making pages that I'm putting inside of my black and white my black and white glue books that I make. So let's move all this out. So I thought I'd play with my my wood blocks because they're my favorites. I like all the designs on that. So I figured let's just play with what makes me happy. Yeah, I have the heat back on too. The past 2 nights, I had to bring in my sensitive plants because it was going to freeze 3 nights in a row. Tonight, I think it's just going to be barely in the 40s, which for the plants, that's okay. It's still stinking cold to me. And it was a really nice day today. It was, I would say it was in the low 70s and the sun was out. Maybe not 70s because when you got into the shade, it was cool. It must have been maybe high 60s. And then as soon as you were out, you know, for feeling the warmth of the sun, it was pretty chilly. So I'm just going to use cheap white paint. I use whatever I find on sale. And this is super cheap paint. And I also have this. So I like using this. I got this secondhand somewhere for $2.50. It's pretty big. And it's a decent white also. So either one will do. Oh my goodness, 21. 33. See, I guess it could be colder than what I have. But, I like to complain, so I'll complain about my weather. And I know this thing is squeaky. I tried spraying it, and I think when I wash it, um it just starts to squeak all over again. So get used to it. So what I'm going to do, like last time, let me get this over here out of the way. I'm going to clean it off on another sheet, the stamps, because I used those in the glue book also, so that worked out pretty good. It takes a couple of stamps to get this loaded to print anything. And I'm trying to remember how many pages of the black pages that I put in there. Let's extend this out. Let's make it pretty. Let's make it pretty. Okay. Yeah, probably it'd be best if I did. I don't have any foam though. I'm ill prepared. It's okay because then I come back with some metallics on it. So it works out okay at the end. Cool. I like it already. Ta-da! Ta-da! Let's do one more. I'm so tempted just to do a pull off of that one because it's so cool. Oh, I'm gonna get distracted, but maybe I should do it anyway because it's kind of cool. Let it dry a tiny bit. Now it would really be cool if I put black on there, right? Great. Oh gosh, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do that. Let me see. Uh-oh, I think all I have is cream. That's okay. We can fake it with some cream, right? Maybe I have some here. I thought I had some. Oh yeah, I do. I do. I do. I do. Ouch. Almost got a paper cut. You know how that goes. Owie. Okay. The lighting on my camera is going to go crazy with all this black and white. That came out pretty cool. I like that. Okay. And this is just for the background, so it doesn't have to be like super duper fancy. It's just providing a backdrop for the glue book. And I might make 2 of each, maybe more. I'm not sure, because I'm not sure how many journals I'm making right now. So it looks like a bunch of snails, doesn't it? That's okay. Lego Masters. I never owned a Lego in my life. All right, next. Hey, they all get squeaky. As soon as I wash them, they get squeaky. So I give up. That way, when we play a game and you close your eyes, you know I'm the one doing the jelly printing. You'll win the prize. Everybody close your eyes. Who do you think is jelly printing? I know. Rosemary. See how it works? I'm going to help you guys win. There we go. Very cool. So this is so easy. It's brain dead if I'm just using two colors. Very relaxing. I don't have to think. I always want to call you Ayala. I know that's not your first name. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, that's right. Did I do that right? Ah, I think I did that wrong. Very grungy. I like that look. Okay. Next. I went out shopping today. I left the house. Had to go grocery shopping. And yes, I went to Sam's and got cardboard. I got me some cardboard. If I'm going to risk my life, it's going to be worth it. Cardboard. There's not enough on there. I'm not going to pick that one up. Hi, Kathy. Yeah, I went to Sam's today. I hadn't been grocery shopping in, I think, like 3 weeks, so it was time to stock up. And I got all excited about talking about the cardboard last night, so I went on the hunt. And I got me some of the grunge board, what I call grunge board, and I got some of that cool paper from the from the rice pile. Yay! Let's see, is there enough there? I think there's enough to pick up. Nothing to speak about. And no, I didn't do anything with the funky fish after we played last night. My brain was tired from that excursion down into the depths of the ocean. I stopped by on the way home at one of our florists that I usually stop by to get, wilty, yucky stuff from him so I can, put them in my eco dine. And it was all closed up. It was closed. It was in the middle of the day. And I was getting ready to go back into my car. And I guess he's one of the employees, he drove up because he was in the company van. They do deliveries. And I said, "What happened?" And he halfway laughed and halfway sad. He says, "Well, um, they're not letting us go into the hospitals. So, and we're not nobody can have funerals, gathering of X amount of people." And he went along the list of the things that flowers are used for, and you know, their business is like zero. And then he says, and even if we had business, he says, well, we were still having business. The vendors, they just weren't, the suppliers, they just weren't supplying anymore because it wasn't worth, I guess the cost benefit to it. Um, the numbers didn't work out, I guess, for them. So they weren't supplying. So, businesses you don't think about, or at least I didn't think about being a victim to all this. And that florist has been in business for 40 some years. Been held within the same family all that time. And he says they're not sure, if they're going to reopen or not. No weddings. Can't go visit, retirement homes, convalescent homes. They don't let you in there either. So it was like, man, I couldn't even dig through their trash. They didn't have any trash of dead plants. They had no plants. Oh my goodness. What am I going to do? It's all about me. What am I going to do? Okay. Now, I talked to my parents. My dad's going stir crazy. My mom, she's a homebody. They could tell her until the day you die, you cannot leave the house. She'd go, oh, okay. My dad, on the other hand, he's this little social butterfly. He likes interacting with people, and he likes spending 3 hours in the grocery store reading all the contents of everything. He likes buying shoes, trying them on. He feels very stifled. Uh-oh, I did that wrong. That's okay. That's okay. Okie I have a friend in Denver. No, no, she's not in Denver. What's the name of the other town? Oh, now I'm going to go blank with the name of the town. Anyway, Colorado. And their town is in, they can't go out at all except for necessities, like groceries and stuff. And she's gone completely crazy because she's always running around. She has, nervous energy. And if she's not doing something, she's just like, wanting to run up the walls. She's going, what am I going to do? I said, I guess you have to challenge yourself to chill. She's the type that she'll go and get a toothbrush, and if she's bored, go get a toothbrush and Clorox and start cleaning all the grout in the bathroom, in the kitchen. Take down her shower curtain, bleach it all out, squirt it outside, dry it. And she may have just done it, like the week before. I don't think I've ever seen her like sitting down reading a book. She's always doing something. So this has been pretty crazy for her. At least what she does is productive, She doesn't like go around running around in circles getting nothing done. She's very productive. I told her she's a little bit on the neurotic side. Not very much, but hey, it's going to get glued on. Who cares? Who cares? All right, let's get some white on there. A lot stayed on there, though, didn't it? It's okay. It's okay. I'm just talking to myself. I hear you, Lucy. And she's always been that way. I've known her. How long have I known her? Maybe like, how long have I known? A long time. I met her in, I think, 1991. You do the math. And she had 5 kids. And I thought she ran around crazy like that because she had kids. But even after they were all gone, she still did the same thing. So it was just a natural for her. She's just wound up a little too tight. But boy, she had a clean yard and a clean house. I remember her kids would just like roll their eyes all the time, things that she tell them to do, because she made them do it with her. And you know how there's always one kid that does it just like the mom, and then the rest, hate her, like, cut it out. You're supposed to be on our side. You're one of the kids. Mom, she's doing it wrong. She didn't double dip the brush in the bleach. And she was a good cook. She sewed. I mean, she did everything. And she was good at everything she did. I just don't think she really enjoyed anything she did. She just did it. All right, new stamp, new paper. How about a small one? We've been doing big ones. Let's do a small one. I have these in my big artichoke. Big artichoke jar. Okay. Oops, wrong paint. This is a jelly plate. Gelli, I believe. You can get these if you go to Amazon. You can get them there online. There are other brands, but I would not suggest the other brands. I would stick with what is that? Jelly Art? No, what is it called, ladies? I already forgot the name of the brand of this. Where's my thing? Where is my? Here we go. Hold on. This is what it looked. Yeah, Jelly Arts. That's the name of the company. They come in different sizes. This is a 8 by 10. There's bigger ones. There's smaller ones. There's round ones. It's whatever size you think you'd be using. Or that you have space for. Sometimes it's a matter of space. And I think the company has their own website that you can get them, I believe. The ladies there in the chit chat there might probably know more than I do about it. And the company themselves put lots of how-to videos on YouTube, so you can get a lot of cool ideas what to do with the plate. I always look forward to their videos. There's endless ways to use it. Uh-oh. I did that backwards, didn't I, guys? Wait a minute. Was there something underneath there? I lost track what I was doing. Am I supposed to be picking up? I think that's supposed to be doing. I got totally distracted. I forgot what step I was at. Well, thank you, Janice, considering that I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I think I was supposed to be picking up and I was starting to stamp. Yeah, I was supposed to be pulling this up. Ta-da! Oh, that made a nice effect. Ooh, maybe I should be doing that. And oh, see, you make mistakes and you think, hey, maybe I should do that on purpose. All right, so back to the white. Correct? Correct. Okay. Ah, all right. What a mess. Janice, I mailed something to South Africa, and oh my goodness, it must have taken like 2 months, maybe at least 2 months, close to 3 months. And I was getting all like, oh my gosh, what happened to the package? And my client was, oh, don't worry about it. It takes that long. And I'm going, what? How did that turn gray now? I did something wrong again. I got to shut up. I was just so shocked at how long it took for the mail to get there. That was just crazy. Okay, I distracted myself and I don't even know what I'm doing. And it was expensive. I double checked with her, like, are you sure you want to pay this postage? This is crazy. So what we do is, I don't know. I like this little one. It's kind of fun. Okay. That one came out cool too. I'm liking them. How many do I have? I think I got enough so far for 2 journals because I do mostly white and then I throw in some of the black. So Yeah, that's so true about all that postage, and we're so spoiled here. A lot of I shouldn't say a lot, but I know of a few ladies that will buy a whole that are, in other countries. They'll buy a lot of stuff and they'll have a friend here in the States and they'll just keep putting it in a box. And then when it's a certain weight, it's cheaper to send them all at one time instead of, the postage each time that you purchase something. And it works out that way. I mean, if you're going to buy them anyway, you might as well do it the cheapest way. I know because I have a shop, I'm kind of familiar with the prices, and a lot of the ladies here, have shops too. But it just jumps from, a regular postage stamp to $11. And there's nothing in between. Either it's a letter and it's just a regular postage stamp, or else now it's not a letter and it's going to cost no less than like $11. That's just to Canada. That's just across the border here. That's cool. Anything? Like there's not that much to pick up there. I believe it, Peggy. I believe it. I don't know how some of these people that swap journals and stuff, they're spending at least that to mail these journals and these swaps. That's why I'm doing that letter and postcard. You can't get any cheaper than that. I don't know, Kathleen. I think that went out with Pony Express. Pony Express and boats kind of went out at the same time. Yay! Okay, let's do the mistake again and see what happens. Hey, Jennifer. Making pages for my black and white glue books. Oh yeah, it does look kind of cool. You get all the variations of the black and gray and white. I like that. And you do it all in one pull, which is kind of cool. You're not old, Kathleen. You're just practical. Oops. Oopsie. Now I'm getting warm. The heater keeps going on. First I was complaining I was cold. Oh, it heard me. It went off. Oh. Did I check my emails today? I'm not sure. I'm getting today and yesterday confused. Well, that was blotchy, but I like it. I like it. Oh, I have to remember that it's going to be folded. And I like the bird. I need at least the birds to be in the right direction. That might be helpful. That might be helpful. Let's put some birds this way. There. Then when it folds, at least there'll be some birds on either side. Like that. There you go. Let's do some peacock feathers. This out of the way. Get a different one. Oh, excuse me. That wasn't dry enough. It got gray. I got my mats all sewed up too. I've got all the veterinarians in town and their employees all stocked up because it was pitiful what they were using. So I figure, well, they're in close contact with our fur babies and their owners. Oops. Ta-da. Hmm. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, I really like this one. Mm. Hit and miss. Okay, tea time. Okay. See what other stamps do I want to Cool. Hey, Darla. those of you that are in the caboodle group, if you haven't been there, I put in a post that a few people had contacted me about the bark cloth bundles I'm putting together. So I've started a list. So if you're interested, let me know. I haven't finished putting it together. So then I can put you on the list. And after I have them and I'll show them to you. If you're not interested, it's no big deal. But if you are, at least you're already on the list. Because I think they're going to go fast. I don't have, like unlimited amount. So, like if once you saw the sizes and the pieces and stuff like that, if you're not interested in it, it's no big deal. We'll just, go to the next name on the list. So don't feel obligated if you want to get on the list. Ooh. Well, I have for now, I'm always on the hunt. I never know what I'll find. I've got the industrial one put together. I did that a couple of days. Well, I finished it a couple of days ago. But I'm still looking through my stuff, and if I see something I think will look cool in there, I'll stick it in. But it's already literally packaged in the package and everything. I could, put it on yesterday, but I wanted to get a few tutorials done on, on the fishy one because I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I know you're anxious, Darla, because you want to get past the fish. I understand. I mean, I know it's not for everybody. That's why I figure, everybody's not going to want to get a kit every month. One, we don't all have the funds to be able to do that. One, okay. Two, the theme, just may not be your thing. So I really could put it up anytime now. That's my long answer. I'm just kind of dragging it out a little bit to get a few more tutorials on the fishy one. And I'm already making a pile for the next one. Well, actually, I got two different piles. Because, I don't know when we'll be able to go about as normal. So I have to put it together with, only stuff I already have. Which is nice because, I'm getting rid of my stockpile. Making me be a little more creative. Yeah, that was crazy. And the tracking still shows that it was delivered to me. Never got it. Woohoo! I like that. I don't think there's enough there to pick up. What do you guys think? Hmm. Nah, not enough. Let's do the elephant. Let's do Mr. Elephant. Well, on the history for this particular package, on a Friday, it says that, not this Friday, but like 2 Fridays ago, they said they made an attempt, but they couldn't get into the yard. Well, I believe that because um, we have dogs, we have it locked, but our mailbox is so that you can, put the mail in the box with you not having to go into our yard. So, and then we have a little section there where the dogs can't even get close to. And I have a sign there telling the delivery people if they can just put it over that, onto that fence, over the fence, because they know the dogs can't get to them as they're putting it over. And all the guys do that. So this must have been a new person and didn't realize, well, if it doesn't fit in the mailbox, you just put it over the fence. I mean, the sign is right there and tells them what to do. So they didn't do that. That was on a Friday. And then it shows the second attempt was on Monday. Now they tried to they tried to deliver it on Friday. Now, usually when they try to deliver something, they can't deliver it. You get like a notice. They stick it in your mailbox. Try to deliver. We'll try again. Blah blah blah. I never got a notice that it wasn't delivered on Friday. So then when I tracked it, it showed that on Monday that it was left with somebody. Well, the only somebody would be me or my husband or the dog. And we wipe down the mail. We have a whole ritual. So it isn't like we can get like a box or a package and then misplace it. So I know it was never delivered here. The whole thing sounds fishy. Cute. Oh, and I put him the wrong direction again. Ah. And, that was with my real name, my real address. And I told the story of sometimes people sent me something and they had it addressed to the, whoops, there's a goober somewhere, addressed to the wrong state and the wrong street number. And I still got it. Go figure that one out. I guess it just depends on your mail carrier. And I guess we had a substitute or something. Oh, let me put. Oh, elephants coming and going. It's a revolt at the circus. Okay, tea time. What are you guys talking about? Don't do what a long time ago. Oh. Oh, scanning the label. Well, one time I was trying to find a package I had sent, and how did this story go? I sent the package, and then like 2 weeks later or something, the customer says, did you send my package? And I go, yeah. And I checked the tracking. And the tracking showed it had been delivered like 3 days after I mailed it. So she contacted the post office, and the post office told her that that it had been delivered. And she goes, well, how do you know it was delivered to my place and not just delivered somewhere? And they said, well, because when they scan it, it has a GPS on there and it shows where they are when they scan it. And it shows they were, at your address. So, okay. So I can't remember all the time frame, but she spoke to um the postmaster, and then I guess they were going to talk to the mail carrier, and he was on vacation. And then during that period of time, the person that was taking over for the guy on vacation found several packages that he had just stuck off into a corner somewhere that he had never delivered. They were still in the possession, technically, of the post office. So she ended up getting it, fortunately. But if that substitute person had not found them, you know, sorry, he probably stood in front of her building because she has a secured building. So he stood in front of the building, scanned it, and put it back into his truck and marked it like it had been delivered. So the GPS means nothing. It just means they scanned it in front of your building. It doesn't mean they gave it to you. Yeah, they said that mine, it says it was scanned, you know, in front of my house. That's why they said, I'm sorry, it's been delivered to your house. I'm going, okay. But, it's that kind of a thing you really can't argue about. I mean, like my scan's bigger than your scanner, and my scanner says that he didn't deliver it. I mean, it doesn't work that way. It's just those frustrating things that happen. And not only frustrating, I mean, it's frustrating enough that you didn't get something that they say you got. Then you put on top of that it cost you money that you can't get back. And then, like with me, it's something that I'm putting together for my shop. So it doubly costs me, you know, it's a loss of profit in what I was going to put it into. So I lose like 3 different ways. And absolutely nothing I can do about it. Okay, next. I should do that. Not do that. I don't know if I can do anything about it in my taxes. I can't prove I didn't get it. They can prove I got it. I can't prove I didn't get it. I've got, my receipts and stuff like that. I have to figure that out when the time comes. But you know how everything is so convoluted and upside down. And then they've given us such crazy instructions for this stimulus thing for people that are self-employed. Because at first it was like if you're self-employed, you don't get anything. Then I guess somebody complained, or I don't know. Then they said, oh no, well, if you're self-employed, you got to do this and you got to do that, and yada yada yada. And oh no, that's not for the stimulus. That's for another thing. There's too many things going on. There's some other thing going. Oh no, it is for that, isn't it? Oh yeah, not the stimulus. I'm talking about unemployment. There you go. I don't think it's federal. I think it's certain states are offering, something equivalent to unemployment for those that are self-employed that don't pay into it. So what you have to do, like me in the state I'm in, I have to file for unemployment. Then they have to deny me. And then I have to file for something else. Because all of my work has slowed down because I can't get out and purchase stuff to do things. And so, what should I do? Oh, do this. So it's like, I don't even know. I don't even know if it's going to work. But I'm filling out papers, and then they say, once you get denied, fill this paper out. Okay, I filled that paper out. I don't know. I don't think it'll come of anything, but I'm still filling out the papers. You can do it online. It's almost like the more no's you put on there, the better it is for you. Did you blah, blah, blah? No. And did you da-da-da? No. My husband has it all figured out. I said, well, as long as you're answering truthfully, figure it out. So that's what he's doing for me. I don't mess with it at all. And then they sent me something in the mail because, you put down you're self-employed, so that means you're the employer. So as the employer, I get something answering questions about me. I told my husband, wait. I'm getting confused already. And he goes, that's just what they're telling you to do. Just do it. Sign your real name. You're the employer and the employee all at the same time. Okay. I just hope I don't get arrested. But it's funny. That's what the directions show. You have to fill this out. And once denied, they already know you're going to be denied. It says once denied, then fill out form yada, yada, yada. Okay. And they're really not doing you a favor because this is just an advance. This isn't free money. Because in the following years, if you have a tax return, that money goes back to the government. Because this was just an advance. So don't think you're getting free money because you're not. I know. I'm not going to charge. No, I'm not going to file any charges against myself or myself. And myself it won't charge anything against myself either. So I think all three of us are okay. Ooh, goobers. I got to clean that out with something. Yeah, I think we've got each other's back. And I told my husband, how much money is this for? I mean, all this jumping through hoops is for how much? And he goes, hardly nothing. I said, could you be more specific? Hardly nothing. I think it ends up being like, I don't know. I don't remember now, but something like $150 or something. And I said, oh my goodness, you keep doing it, dear. I lost that to the post office already. So, so you know what I mean? I got to clean this off with something. That's chump change compared to what I lost. So now, I guess because of my bad attitude, if we get the money, he'll keep the $100 for having the wrong attitude. Yeah, exactly. Well, no, the way you're going to get it back is you're just going to, through your own, whatever your, Whatever your return is going to be, it's literally going to be returned to them. You're not going to see it. So, which one do I want to do now? Let's do this big old square. See what happens. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. See? That's what I get for talking. I'm supposed to be lifting this. Aren't I? I think so. Yep. I discombobulated myself again. That's what I get for bad mouthing the government. Oops. Yay! That almost looks like seahorses. I've been playing around with the funky fish a little too long. Don't these look like seahorses? And this is under the ocean. And you got seaweed and bubbles going up. I think that's kind of cute. And there's not much on there. Yeah, we're paying ourselves. It's just like a loan. It's like a loan, and we're going to pay it back next year with our tax return. That's all. It's just a loan. Oh, you see the seahorses too? Yeah. Good. I thought I would just go a little funky fish there for a second. Ooh, it's dirty. Where'd I get these stamps? Some of them I got on Amazon. Some of them I got at a thrift store. And a couple of them were given to me. Which are which now? Hard to know. Okay, the ones that aren't real wood, these aren't real wood. This is more like a resin. I think those I got at a thrift store, I think. And these are real wood. So those might have been the Amazon ones. Those are real wood. Oh, that came out strange. Huh. It's okay. It's okay. Is it dry? My brayer's getting a little dirty. Dirtier than usual. Ooh. I like how these came out. I like them. I like them. Okay, let's see what we've got done. I've been doing this for almost 2 hours. I might be all jellied out. Let's look at these. Let's see. Some fell on the floor, of course. These, some of them are just, you know, the cleanup ones, obviously. Wow, I got a lot done. Ta-da! And what I'm doing that prep work to make a couple more of these black and white journals because I have them as pages in here. Well, you could have seen them before I glued all the stuff on top of them, but they do a cool background once you glue on them. So that's what those papers will become. Oh, I'm so happy I got those done. I know you guys helped me so much. I got totally distracted. Where's my lid? Where's science? Oops. How come they don't fit back in? They don't fit back in like they came out. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay, what else you guys jibber jabbering about? Shake up the jar. Knowing me, I'll end up breaking the jar. So, Darla, what do you have? Are you going to email me? You going to tell me now? You going to tease me? What's going on? I know sometimes that glue does not want to come out of those bottles. And then look out when it does, because it's everywhere. I was watching, was it yesterday or today? I lost my days. Can't remember which day it was. Anyway, Debbie over at DIY. Do you guys watch her? Thank you, Nikki. Do you guys watch her? I think a lot of people do because she has a lot of followers. Anyway, she was playing around with resin on the molds. They were kind of, she has this really neat mermaid mold. And it was pretty cool. I saw her several months ago, or maybe longer than that. She used that mold on a piece of furniture, and it was so cool. But she was making a bracelet out of it yesterday or today. Ah, and it was looking pretty cool. Yes, that is so cool. I bet you it's expensive, right? That mermaid one. And it's pretty big. But she did it when she did it on the furniture. Oh my gosh, it was just gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Because I've redone a lot of furniture, so I could really appreciate, the work she put into that. It was so pretty. Oh, that's not too bad. I mean, it's pricey, but I thought it'd be more. That's not bad at all. What explodes? Your fabric tack? I hope you get your money back. That's bad news. Well, anyway, when we were playing yesterday with the book, I never went back to it today at all. I did my grocery shopping. I did wifey stuff, household stuff today, mostly, most of the day. So I didn't do anything with the fish. So I think I'll do that tomorrow. I got to decide that one page and play with that for a little bit when I want to do my downtime. And then I need to figure out how to do that little, that little, what did we call it? Like a little jar or what was that little thing? I don't know where oh, here it is. I need to learn to fine tune this too to make it right. I mean, that was my first attempt. I think we can fine tune it to actually make it look kind of cute. What do you guys think? And then you could put anything in there. You could put some sand, you could put little pearls. I mean, if you're doing it for the fishy one. And you can still put your little note in the bottle. A breathing hole. Now what are we talking about? Yeah, I think most of us had yucky weather today. Well, we had yucky weather at night, but during the day today, we had beautiful weather. The sun was out. There was a nice little breeze. The birds were singing. The dogs were chasing the squirrels. All was well in the yard. My little bunnies were safe here behind the fence by my studio. Nobody got eaten today, so it was a good day. Oh, that's funny, Lisa. I do the same thing. You talk about comparative shopping. I do comparative filling because they don't fill them up at all. You must get like 3/4 in those bottles. Little cheaters. We all do the same thing. Line them up. Uh, that's pretty pathetic. We're all the same. Now, see, Eileen is smart. Hers isn't see through. You have no idea what you're getting. She's a little tricky one. See? I don't know how much is in there when I buy that. No idea at all. But I know what they're doing here. What a bunch of teasers. At least you're ignorant about this, what's going on. What else? You can even see how much Mod Podge you have. Now, see, this one hasn't been open. Ooh, this one's pretty good. Actually, this has the most I've ever seen. It's right there. I've never seen them that full. That's why I grabbed it, I guess. Yep, right there. They're usually down here somewhere. And don't lay them down. I did that the other night and it exploded. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I might have to take a picture of this one. And then when the rest don't have nothing in them, I'll say, hey, 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 look. Don't tell me you need an air gap in there. Look how full this one is. And it's in perfect condition. I want them all to have that amount. Okay, now what, ladies? Are we done? Was there something you wanted to see? Was there something you wanted to do? I have no idea. Your schools are open over there? Or you're just busy at the school? Thank you, Janice, for coming by. All of our schools are closed. All of our everything is closed. All I know is I'm thirsty now. Thank you, Teresa. Oh, Lucy's the techie for the school. Very good. Jean, I don't know to tell you the truth when I'm going to do the kit. Like today's barely the 15th. Today is barely the 15th. And I don't want to get ahead of everybody. Some people haven't even finished the kit before the fish. What was that? The Asian one? Some people are still working on their Asian one. The bark cloth? Sure, I can explain the bark cloth. I can bring some samples to show you. And I no judgment on anybody, but just the other day, no names. Again, I heard somebody selling bark cloth on a sale and saying it was made out of bark. It's not made out of bark. All right. So, yeah. It is not made out of bark. The woofy kind or the woody kind? I've been busy cutting. That's why I was complaining the other day with all the little nicks and stuff on my fingers. I don't know if I'm using these incorrectly, but when I see how this hits right here and they're like, ooh, see, every time I go like that to open it up, it hits there, and then after so many minutes, it was raw there, and I had to put that tape just so I could use these. I don't know, maybe they're not good scissors. I don't know. They cut good, but they're hard to open. Maybe I need to grease them up or something. All I know is they hurt my fingers a lot. Anyway, so that's what I was doing, cutting all this stuff up. So some of the pieces I had were larger pieces, some were smaller ones. But for the whole point of this, that I'm doing these packs, is because a lot of people have never played around with bark cloth, never had any. They haven't seen the different kinds. And so it's basically like a sampler pack that I'm trying to put together. And then there's going to be at least one or two larger pieces, way big enough to do a journal cover if you want to do a journal cover, plus a whole bunch of small pieces. I don't have everything cut yet, but let me get some stuff out of the way. But here's an example. Okay, let's backtrack. For people that are not familiar with bark cloth at all, it became very popular like in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, and all the way up to maybe it started fading out at the beginning of the 60s, mid 60s. It really faded out. But I would think the heyday was 40s and 50s, really. And Do you have a pink? No, I didn't even know they made those. I don't know. I don't know much about nothing, Kathleen. They make pinking rotary cutters. Oh my gosh. Well, the next time the stores are open, they see don't put your hand in so far. Oh, but then I can't open them. I can't cut. Maybe my hand's just too small, too short, because my hand has to go there to even open it. And so then it hits here and then slides there, and it was getting raw right here. So what I ended up doing was just putting masking tape along there. And then my husband came over and said I looked like a fighter. And it worked. After I put the masking tape on there, it wasn't as bad. But it was still it's still very klutzy to maybe there's something wrong in here. Maybe I need to blow the dust out in here or put something there. I mean, like that, look, it moves just fine, right? Real easy. But then when it gets to this point right here, when it gets to that point right there, it's really, look, it's real, it's real tough. So that's when my knuckles get all banged up. So, but when they cut, the actual cutting, they cut really good. It's the mechanical part for me that is extremely painful. But these are sharp. So anyway, these are 100% cotton. The way that they are woven is to mimic um hand pounded bark that is made into cloth in places, like in parts of Asia and parts of Africa in the old days. And they still do it to this day. It's an art. But so it was meant to mimic that look, and they have these little knobby, I don't know if you can see it. It's a real distinct way that it's woven, and it's all cotton, and it's to look like the whoops, handmade handmade fabric. But anyway, so it's not made from bark. It's 100% cotton. It's a look. It was very trendy during that period of time. They did curtains, they did upholstery, pillows, you name it. It was the thing. I don't even know what to equate it to, but it was the thing. And then it kind of faded out. Everybody tore down their curtains, you know, gave them away, threw them away, put them in a box in the basement, you know, and then like most things, there's a resurgence and it has come back. So if you can find it, and it's the real stuff, because there's people out there selling stuff and it's not real. It's printed to look like bark cloth on the front, but when you turn it over, it's just plain cotton. It's not processed like bark cloth is woven. It's just a regular weave. But anyway, so that's what it is, and it just feels cool. The textures are neat. The colors they put on them is really cool. It's just you know if you like going back in time. Let me see, Rosemary, what do you call those little pinwheel thingies? I don't know. I don't know if I have ever seen it. I don't know if I know what you're talking about. Pinwheel thingies. I don't know. I need a picture. There you go, Lucy. You're in the money. You can get good money if they're intact. You find somebody that's looking to go retro and they want to hang those curtains, there you go. See, she's a perfect example. She's got them downstairs. So anyway, so the patterns that they used kind of ran the gambit too. They did um they did scenery ones where they have the trees and they have this and they have that. And then it was very common, like in California and Florida, where they had the tropical ones. Well, I haven't cleaned these up too well yet, have I? The ones that were more tropical in nature. And then they had this one had more what I would call like an Asian theme to it when you saw the whole picture before I cut it up. And then these down here, I've got numbers because I have how many is on each pile. Doesn't matter now. I love the texture on this. Look at this, how beautiful that is. And so also now the fact that, ooh, I've always enjoyed making fabric books and stuff like that. But now that people are into, into doing a lot of hand stitching, even if you don't know what you're doing, like me, I don't know the first thing about embroidery or I don't know no names of any stitches, but I do enjoy just making a simple stitch. And so if you were to put some batting or just some kind of thicker fabric underneath and just kind of went around the trees and things, I think it would look really super cool. And this one has like a little, I don't know what it's supposed to be, but it looks like a little pagoda to me. But who knows? It could be a fishing house out in Maine. I don't know. I see things through an Asian lens. What can I say? And it's probably easier showing them from the back. I just have them in lots of 10 right here just so I can have a quick inventory of what I've got. So there's those kind, and there's this kind, and then more tropical. And then I have these right here are, I forget what size I cut these. These are going to be the large ones. I had a big piece of this, so I was able to cut large pieces out of this. And where is my phone? And so these will be, I think the average is around 12. This one's 13, but I think the average is about, this is 12 by 14. Some came out a little bit bigger, but none of them are smaller than 12 by 12. So let's just say 12 by 12, but some will be a little bit larger. I'd rather them some be larger than tell you a number and then some of them be smaller. So this is, obviously way big enough to make a humongous journal and have some left over, or making 2 smaller journals, but it's plenty enough to make a journal cover if that's what you're looking for. Or it's also big enough to make a pillow if you want to do a pillow. Really go retro and have it on your couch. Now this one, I'm going to cut it. It's going to be part of the kit, but I just had to look at it a little bit longer before I cut it because I just love this piece. Oh, I just love this piece. And you can see these bark cloths, depending on the manufacturer, they had different textures. But you still see how beautiful that texture is on the back side. And you have to realize most, if not all of these, um, are at least from the early 60s and then 50s and 40s, all of these fabrics. And sometimes by the style, you can kind of determine this was more like the 50s, 40s, 50s, this kind of a pattern, and these patterns too. Those were dated, the murals that they made on the curtains. So this will be part of the kit too. And then I've got two other pieces upstairs next door. I haven't brought them over. I'm going to cut those. Those are a larger piece too. And so that's just a little preview and a little backstory of the fabric. Oh yeah, Sue, that's right. You could put some of these on those quilt pieces. Yeah, the double whammy. Where do you get all that cloth with me? I'm telling you, I'm a collector of all kinds of things. I can't even tell you how long I've had some of this. And, now that I see other people appreciate it, or, exposing people to things maybe that, um, wouldn't get any other way. Like, for instance, if you were to buy a full piece of something, some of these run anywhere, a full piece. If you go look at them. What am I saying? If you go and investigate and find some of these online, the bigger pieces can run anywhere from 80, 90, and up. So if you can't find little small pieces, you know, and you just find the big pieces, what are you going to do with the big giant piece? And at least this way, you get little pieces, a variety of them, and you can have your own little collection. My vision, of course, and I'm not doing a kit for us to do as a caboodle kit. This is just a little fabric kit I'm putting together. But in my mind, what I have always fashioned to do, which I've never done, but in my mind, it would look so cute, is if you literally made a cloth journal, and in the cloth journal, made it maybe out of muslin, all the pages, and then um, had a piece maybe this big and put it on the page like a sampler piece, and then put a notation, and this would all be fantasy, right? And put a notation on the side, what year it was made, what what you tore it off of, like say you tore it off of your grandmother's old rocking chair or whatever you make up. It's your own little fantasy journal. And then you'd have this whole sampler book with all these different pieces and a little story to go along with it. And I thought that would be such a cool little book to have. And then, it's one of those kind of books that you just would, after it was done, you would just keep looking through it, and you would touch it, and you would read your little story, and maybe you'd change the story up a little bit and add something to it because something would come to your mind. Oh yeah, maybe this and maybe that. And I think that would be something kind of cool to do with these kinds of fabrics. But that's just in my head. So when I cut the other ones, like I said, I got two other ones. And when I cut those up, then I'll package those up and see how many kits I can, I quit saying kits, how many bundles I can put together. And that's, then I'll let you guys know. That's why I say if you want to get put on the list, I can put you on the list. And then after I've got it all put together, if you say, that was a good idea, but I don't think I want to, that's okay too. That's not a problem. You can back out on it. Not a problem at all. And I'm the type that, I get stuff that I personally like myself, and then, I'll hoard it for however long I want to. And then once I've gotten past the hoarding of it and I've enjoyed it and I've touched it and I've looked at it and I fantasized about what I would make with it, then I'm okay about letting it go. Then I'm okay. Uh-oh. All right, let me read chat. There you go. Yeah, like Shannon's big birthday. I forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah, we'll just make I think fake journals are fun. Who wants to listen to our real complaints? Let's just make a fun fake fake journal. Yeah, I put your name down, Darla. I saw that. Will pieces be big enough for a spine? Some of them will be. I did make if I don't know if you noticed, I did make some long ones, and I'm trying to get a little bit of different sizes. So if you wanted like some of the square ones, those would look kind of cute on the front of a smaller, maybe cloth journal, or inside they make some cool pockets or whatever. And then I'm going to have some longer ones. It'll be at least 8 inches long, and then others that will be big enough if you wanted to use the whole thing for a journal. So those you could make a lot of spines off of those if you didn't want to use the whole big piece for a journal. Yeah. Oh, Jennifer. Oh, yeah, I answered that. Okay. I think I answered the questions. I think I answered them all. Let me roll up. Let me roll up some. I was too busy yakking. Oh, Sarah wants to be on the list. Oh, let me put Sarah on the list. Sarah wants to be on the list. Sarah makes quilts. No, I don't have any hemp cloth. I'm just barely getting back up there to that one. Maryland. My sister-in-law lives in Maryland. Okay. I think I went far back enough. Oh, the yo-yos. Okay. So what was your question about the yo-yos? Oh, Sarah starts quilts. Oh, okay. Alrighty. You talking about your real spine, Jennifer? There's probably a lot of quilters that would like to finish quilts for you. My mother made one of those wedding ring ones that has oodles of pieces. Oodles of pieces. You need to let that thing out of that stretcher and let that poor quilt breathe. That's a good idea. We could swap unfinished projects and see what the other person does with it. I like that idea. Do we get to keep it or we have to send it back? Oh, okay, no husbands. I think mine's done though. My husband's done. I don't think there's no changing that one. Oh my goodness, you have one of those machines, Kathleen? Oh my gosh. Yeah, Sarah knows how to do it. She was before all of this, stay at home thing, she was going up to these classes. I mean, she already knew what she was doing, but she was learning new stuff too. Nikki's got a bunch of papers. I know. I've seen some of the ladies with those long-armed machines. Oh my goodness, the things they get done. A large hole in the machine. Wait a minute. Not a long arm, just a large hole in the machine. What does that mean? Oh, you guys are crazy. I don't know how to do any stitches at all. I've been looking at videos on YouTube and I found this woman. She only speaks Spanish, but I think she's a really good teacher. And I've been watching her. So I'm gonna try and make a little small I think small. Well, maybe small is harder than big. Anyway, I think I'm gonna make a little cloth journal. And whatever I learn, whether it comes out right or wrong, I'm gonna make like little sampler pages of my attempts. Ooh, yeah, cantha quilt. There you go. I want to do the free motion sewing on some stuff. It scares me though. I think I'm gonna like sew my finger to the fabric. So just put a picture of it in the group. It looks hard. Well, let me retract that. It looks the ladies that do the free motion make it look easy, but I know it's not. They make it look easy. Ugh, I don't like that word practice. Well, mine does have a drop feeder thingy. I've dropped it. And it just happened that because I didn't know anything about that kind of sewing. And then I saw a video, of course, saw a video and they showed, you just have to drop the bead, the little footsies there, whatever you call those things. And then they showed uh the different foot, not the foot, the pet no, what do you call it? No, I forgot what you call it. Yeah, it's a foot. The different foot that you put on there. Yeah, drop the teeth. There you go. And then, so I was looking up frantically, you know, one that would fit my machine and what it would cost. And it was something like $90 for it. And I said, no, I don't even know what I'm doing. There's no way I'm spending $90. So then weeks later, I go looking through the box that came with my machine, which, I've had it like for 6 years or something. And there is one of those free motion foots in the box with my machine. My machine didn't even cost $90. And I got a foot that they wanted to charge me $90 for. So I have one. So I got the whole thing. I just have to try and do it and not, sew my finger to the quilt or whatever it is I'm going to sew. Oh, for mending. See. And they were so when I typed in, free motion foot, that little thing, that one thing with the kind of a larger hole circle, that's what popped up. It was like $90. And mine's just a little cheapy one. You talking to me, Kathleen? What brand is mine? I don't know. I can run and check. That'll give me an excuse to put my tea on. My machine is a brother. Yeah, it's probably got a big sister. No, mine's a brother, and I paid under $100. I know that for sure. I don't remember what it cost, but I know it was under $100. The sewing channel I would recommend is, what is her name? Oh my goodness. I like her and I can't remember what her name is. Oops, I can't get there now because I'll probably lose you guys. Oh, is Darla here? Is Darla here? It is. Let me find it. I'm subscribed to too many people. That's bad. Uh-oh. I can't find her. Well, I'll have to show it to you another day. I'll write it down when I figure out what it is. She's the one that I got the pattern for the mask to do also. She does things in a simple way. Oh well. Nope. I'm too brained in to find it. I didn't like anything in school either. I'm gonna go get my tea. I think slow stitching is a made up term to get people to stitch. To me, slow stitching, this is my interpretation of slow stitching is stitching for people that don't know how to stitch. So they stitch really slow. I think that's what I would call what I do. It's just stitching. No pattern, you don't know what you're doing. It doesn't have to look any certain way. It's like cantha quilts. Cantha quilting is slow stitching. I made this little thing, and I guess you would call this slow stitching. My doll that I made. Everything on here I think would be considered slow stitching. All of her her what you call it. Right? Even though this is a real stitch, I would still call it, slow stitching. I guess. I don't know. And I didn't do this. I added the beads and a few stitches here and there, but this was a piece of fabric. I don't know how to do that. And then the back, she's got I gave her a bunch of pockets, and so I'm going to put little notes in there, like some, like remember you're special. Don't listen to other people. Little notes back there. Things we have to remind ourselves. I didn't charge you yet? Uh-oh. I didn't charge you? I'll double check. I will double check. Thank you for reminding me. And because I go brain dead, I'm going to mark that down right now. Check. Billing. Banana. And I got to double check. I don't know why. Oh, well, I'm not going to worry about it right now. I will double check that once I get off. Was it Mimi? Yeah, it is, Darla. Thank you. Yeah, I will get on that as soon as I get off, because now it's bugging me. What did I do? What did I do? Mm. So this is a doll. It's supposed to be a doll. And this I did a image transfer on some muslin. And then this is some trim that I had. It was already real goofy like that. So it was perfect for her hair, and I just sewed that in there. And I just felt she needed a little personality in the back, so she got one of those back there. And then these were just little beads. Not beads, but, stuff that was supposed to go, like, on jewelry and stuff. And it already had little holes, so I just sewed all those around her face, and then sewed all these down, and sewed some of the beads over here, and did some stitching here and there, and then stuffed her. Stuffed her. And then made her her wrap. She was supposed to have a wrap. And because it's longer here, and then when you sit her down, she actually stands up all by herself. She's a character, that's for sure. Is there No, I don't know what it is. I don't know what that's called. And I don't know if I have any more. And it's just it's already in sewn to a strip. And I think it's stuff like you would put like on a pillow or something, that would be the fringe on a pillow. I'm thinking. No, I didn't invent this. There's if you go on Pinterest, there's a lot of versions of these dolls. I forget what they call them, the shape of them, and it's like a bottle shape basically. And so the concept, no, it's not mine at all. It's an old concept. But I did do I did come up with her, how I decorated her and stuff. That was my idea. But the concept of making these, no, it's not mine at all. And creating because she's supposed to be some kind of like a princess, so she's got to have her wrap and all that kind of good stuff. I guess you could tell my favorite colors. Hi, Jennifer. She looks like a damn it doll. What the heck is that? A bowling pin? Yeah, she does. She does. I didn't think about that. I just thought of an old-fashioned milk bottle. I don't know why, but she does. She does. Oh dear. I never saw that before. See, you need other people's eyes sometimes. Now I won't be able to see anything else but a bowling pin now. Poor thing. I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't even know what those are. She was fun to make. But boy, let me tell you, I got a bag about, whoops, a bag about maybe this big of stuffing, about this long, about that big, and I used every single piece in here. I mean, I stuffed this thing. You can see because she doesn't have, you know, those really kind of wonky parts, you know. She's really, and you need to do that for her to be able to stand with the help of the back of her little cloak there. But she's got a lot of stuffing in there. She'd make a good pin cushion. Oh, they're for whacking. Oh. Bought 3 ceramic doll faces from her Etsy. From whose Etsy? Who's got ceramic doll faces? That would be cool. She's worthless. Well, I guess you could do a lot of whacking with her. She's pretty sturdy. But she looks like she's very serene. I don't think she's the type that would go whacking around anything. I think she'd go sit in the corner and get her guitar and play Joan Baez songs or something. Some people are falling asleep. I'm going to have to go soon too. After my tea. I'll finish my tea with you guys. Lorna wants us to sing her a bedtime story. Dreadlocks. I guess that could be sort of her dreadlocks. She's definitely on the hippy zippy side for sure. She's more mellow than wacky. They have 5 to 6 busts. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like trim for pillows or something. I think. I don't know. China doll busts. I've never seen this stuff. See? Yeah, Bohemian. There you go. You want to see the industrial kit? I haven't made anything from it yet, but I have the stuff. And that's another thing. I wanted to make something out of it before I show it. I mean, before I sell it. So, because I know some people say, well, I can't imagine what I would do with that. So I have to show you. I can show you the kit if you want, but it kind of looks like nothing because I didn't make anything, but I can show it to you. Let me put this back. Whoa. There she goes. I've got most of the stuff. I think there's a couple of things that I have next door that I'm going to put in. I got to bring that over. I'll show the smaller things first. Hey, Amy. And see, the natural question is, but what are we going to do with that? See, if I had it finished, then you'd know exactly what we're going to do with all this stuff. And not every kid has exactly the same thing, because some things, you know, I didn't have the large quantity for everything, but everybody is going to get some of the tape, because I figure we're going to make some of those little vials. See, I'm going to have to explain everything. Anyway, so we use this on the vial, and we use those in those little bottle things we made. And we're going to have these, and there's going to be at least 3 or 4 dark buttons, and some of them will have a plate, some of them will have something else. This is packing tape that you just wet, but it looks really cool when you stain it, and when you know, put it on your journal, it looks really cool. And then I like putting like pads of paper in the front or the back so that you can write on it. So I included some of these so that you can do that with it. And then each one is going to have an old matchbook cover. They'll all be different. This is I just forgot what they're called. You know what these are? Gaskets to a motor. And I thought these would look really cool, maybe as a frame or something, with an old picture in there. And then some tags that, you know, are more leaning toward the masculine side. And then some little price stickers, and some wrappers to some cigars, and a couple of cards, and another little tag. Those are all things to play with actually in the journal. And of course, you get the pickle bags you guys have been asking for. And they tea and coffee stain really well, so you can get them looking old and grungy looking. And then some of these cards. And a few of them will be different, but for the most part, those are some of the goofy cards you'll be getting. And then you'll be getting some rent receipts. These are like from the 40s. And yes, you're getting some screen. You will know later what we will be doing with the screen. Getting some old canceled checks from the 1930s. And it's got some cool writings in the back that would be fun to play with. These are from the Missouri Pacific Railroad Company, and these are some old pay stubs and inventory tags, and these are some other old pay stubs from These are, I think, from the 40s or 50s. And then some time cards. Uh-oh, what did I drop? Oh. And then I wanted to incorporate some craft paper. So this is like some old packaging. So we got some craft paper. There are some pages from some technical books, and there'll be some graphs in there that would look cool in the journal. Technical kind of stuff. More craft paper. There'll be a large journal page in there. I love the shape of this paper, and this coffee and tea dye is really super cool. And then this envelope. This you probably recognize it. It's where you put oh, but the plastic came off. I had to get a different one. Anyway, where you could put old photographs, but this really coffee and tea stains really good and prints really well on it. And then a full sheet of craft paper. And then this is specs. There's some graph paper that'll be in there. Another kind of ledger paper that'll be in there. A big ledger paper that'll be in there. We'll show later what we're going to do with the piece of canvas. We got a piece of canvas that are going in there. And then there's going to be a blueprint of some kind of mechanical, a mechanical something. They'll all be something different. But you'll get the blueprint in there. And after I get them all put together, completed, depending on how many I have left over, I think I might be able to put 2 of those in there. And then this came from a real measuring tape from the 30s, and so it's a cool canvas. And so I just cut them all into foot lengths, and that will look pretty cool if you ended up putting it on there or something on your journal. And then also we're going to get a interdepartmental correspondence. Say that quickly. And this looks really cool when you put it in the journal. And this here has, it just continually sticks. It never stops sticking. I don't know what it's made out of, but that's the way it's supposed to be, because it would go from department to department. And then I'm putting in here some some of my dark eco paper. I'll put a few pieces of that in. Oops. In with the whole thing. And uh-oh. And that will be your, where's my things going? That will be your kit and caboodle. Yeah, that's exactly what it was, Kathy. It was one of those big, humongous things. I was thinking once I get them all cut out, I was going to have my husband open it up. And I thought, oh, wouldn't that make a really cool round journal? That's all I could see doing that to it. Let's see, it's right here. Wouldn't that look cool? So I had to put that on there or else it would go all the way in. But once I get it all, there's got to be an easy way to take this thing. Oh, hello. There's a real easy way to take it apart. And then I thought, oh man, this would make such a cool journal. Put like a hinge of maybe like leather or something. This would be, yep, 100 foot. Woohoo! Anyway, that would be fun too. Yeah, I know. I have quite a few of these. These weren't my dad's, but I used to collect them because I was a, um, I did drafting, I designed homes, I ran some construction crews, and so those those give me warm fuzzies when I see those. Yeah, I have some of those too. I love those. How many kits do I have? Right now, I've got, ooh, I forget. I think I have like about 40 or 45. I'm going by how many have been selling. So I thought, well, I'll make that many. And then if they don't sell right away, they'll just sit in the shop because what happens is that all you guys buy them before we do the tutorials, which makes sense. That's what you should do, so that you'll have it when we do tutorials. But then when some people see the videos and they see the tutorial, then they contact me and they want a kit. Well, I don't have any more because they all sold. So but what happens is that you have to have a large quantity of each thing to make obviously a lot of them. And I don't have like gazillions of anything. So, and I can't go out and buy gazillions of anything. Well, I did, and then they, delivered it to the wrong house. But so, so that's where my problem lies. Oh, and then I have these stamps that I got, like wooden stamps. I don't know where they are right now. And so what I was going to do was the first ones that bought them, because I only have like maybe 10 or 11. So I figured the first ones that got the kits, I was going to throw those in there. Some of them print good, some of them don't. But I think just the handles look cool. And it would look cool hanging off of it, or, I imagined it somehow. I'm not really sure how, but I thought it went with the look that I thought that would look cool as. Kathleen. So tomorrow I'm gonna go over upstairs. Upstairs we use that as storage up there. It's a converted attic, and it's a just one big giant room and a bathroom up there. And I that used to be my craft room before I moved next door. until until I outgrew upstairs and had to move next door. Oh, yeah, I know. I might find it on eBay. You're right. You are right. It might be there. But anyway, I have a lot of stuff over there still. So I'm going to go over there and see if I have a lot of anything. One thing I do have, I'm going to probably see if anybody wants to buy it whole or a piece of it. It's bigger than this sheet. What's the size of this sheet? But I do think it's bigger than this sheet. This is 14 by 17. So I know it's bigger. I think it's bigger than this. It's an old book. I should say it's an old catalog that used to be in a department store in the turn of the century, and men would come in like at a haberdashery or something, and or a tailor. I would say more like a tailor. They would they had all these different suits that they would make, and then they would have like numbers, just like we would see patterns nowadays. And so the gentleman would go in and they would select the suit that they want, and then of course they take their measurements and make their suit. So I don't know how many pages are in there, but it is not in good shape. It has water damage. Um, it's not in good shape, but just for what it is, it's really, really cool. Um, I just have no place to display it. And I thought maybe if I sold just the pages, because the pages are thick, like cardboard almost, because they've got a lot of wear and tear from being used and looked at and all that stuff. If maybe somebody would want in their sewing room or something, want to frame it or hang it or I don't know what. But you'd have to choose which side because it's a page, right? Like a page. And I can't remember the name now. I looked up the company and I got a little bit of history on the company. It was in its time, it was a famous, you know, company that made clothing for men, made suits. Yeah, it'd have to be, yeah, if you wanted to see both sides. And then you can see on one side, it has the name of fabric. So there probably at one point was little samples of fabric that you could have that particular suit made out of, but the samples aren't there anymore. Just the place where the little swatch would have been. Oh, that's cute of me. It's a nice idea. Night, Sarah. Thank you for being with us for so long. Sarah's been really busy taking care of her husband. Her husband got very sick a couple of months ago, and he's still recuperating. And she has 10,000 dogs that she rescued. She has to take care of all them. And her son isn't well. She has to look out and worry about him. The poor girl needs a vacation. Now she can't come over here to get away. She has to watch her husband. And then we have to distance ourselves. I miss her coming over. She makes me laugh so much. Sarah's one of those, what you would call someone that has dry sense of humor. That's Sarah. But she is funny. I have to have her come on with me sometime. I have to set that up. I know she doesn't have like a webcam, but she can probably do it with her phone, right? Yeah, Sarah needs to be your bestie. That's right. Now, see, someone says prayers, Sarah. Now, if Sarah was right here. She goes, prayers. I need a vacation. I don't need a prayer. I need a vacation. Yeah, I think a lot of people use the phones. So maybe she can use her phone and we can do something together. I'll practice with her. I should say I'll let Darla practice with her. And then Darla can explain to me what she needs to do. Yes, exactly. You do remember she was around when we were doing the wood stamps because she had some of her own. Yep, that's Sarah. Yeah, Darla needs a vacation too. I found this guy. Of course, I don't remember his name. He does the coolest stuff. I like watching people that do things that I know I could never do. I enjoy watching those kinds of guys. This guy, he works with he's an abstract artist, I guess what you call him. And he makes these monochromatic prints and he likes to use just ink and he likes to use plastic like plastic bags and he'll put the ink on the plastic bag and he uses that to do his art. So let's say he's taped down, let's say 6 squares, 3 and 3 squares, and he has those taped down and it's nice paper, right? And then to the side he gets his like trash bag and he puts, nice ink on there and rolls it on, sort of like you would on the jelly plate. And then he gets it and he kind of blotches it here and blotches it there. And then he just makes oodles and oodles of layers between paint and charcoal and um he uses like what? Anything you think of, any kind of mixed media, but he'll do it all like in the blacks, whatever it is he chooses, he'll use the black. And he comes up with the coolest stuff. I mean, when you see it finished, you never imagine it was all those what I would consider easy steps, once you see it all broken down. But the end result is just really so cool and very abstract. So not me, but I love his work and I enjoy watching him. I think I relax when I watch stuff that I know I can't do because if I watch stuff that I think I can do, then my head's spinning like, oh, if I do this and I do that and I can just tweak it there and so I'm already like redoing it in my head and making it something different. But when it's something I really know there's no way I can do it, I can just relax and watch it and I don't have to think. I'm not trying to like, get creative. I just enjoy it. Yeah, and then I can't sleep. Ah. Oh, I mean, you can too. Do you have a jelly plate? I thought you said you did, right? That's what we did tonight before you got here. That's my cleanup one. This is what we did. We jelly plated all night long. This is gonna go for my black and white glue book. And we just jelly plated. Oh, she's working. She's at work. Well, just because you're not good at it doesn't mean you cannot become good at it. That's the whole point. Yeah, when I used to have my work computer, I put a tape over the camera on my work computer. I didn't want no accidents. We'll just have to have a private jelly plate game and have, like 6 people on StreamYard and just do jelly printing for those that have don't know how to do it and want to learn or think they don't know how to do it. Right, exactly, darling. Just in case. You what? Oh my goodness. I mean, I swear. You and Johnny, you just get all frustrated and you throw things away. You need my address, girl. Stop throwing things away. You have my address. You need to throw them my way. So am I, Kathleen. Throw things away. Oh my gosh. That's why I got so much junk. I don't throw anything away. I tell my husband I have to become more disciplined and learn how to throw stuff. Okay, ladies, I think my tea's done. Well, it's cold. Now I got to go back and heat it up. I keep talking too much. I don't know, Suzanne, why it's doing that for you. I honestly don't know. Maybe it's I don't know. I haven't had any problem. Did you put thin coats? That's the only thing I can think of. That when you put the coats on, you put them too thick. Well, see, that's what Suzanne's been trying to do. She's been trying to make the tape with the shellac, and it keeps rubbing off. And mine doesn't rub off. And she's using the same tape I'm using and the same shellac I'm using. So all I can figure is the amount of shellac she's putting, and maybe she's not letting it dry properly, or I don't know. I did. I put 3 coats, but they're very light coats. I think it's probably evaporated, Kathleen. What do you think? Oh, yeah, there you go. Did you stir the can? Because it's everything settles to the bottom and you just got that watery stuff up on top. Okay, I think that stuff must be now like goo. Because even mine, I mean, I use mine up maybe every 6 to 9 months, And by the time I get to the bottom, even though I stir it every time, by the time I get to the last inch or so, it's getting pretty like caramel, the texture of caramel. Yeah, make sure it's stirred really, really well, because the further you go down, the thicker it is. So all you can do is try it again because you've got all the right stuff. You just have to kind of tweak your technique. Um, it's just a water-based product, Kathleen. So, I guess just add a little bit of water to it. I mean, shaking it upside down doesn't really, with that particular thing, it doesn't really mix it up as much as you think it would. Yeah, put a really thin coat, let it dry completely. Yeah, I mean, in general, most things shakes up pretty good, but I tried doing the same thing with it because, it works for most things. And then I opened it up and it was still had that kind of watery thing up on the top, and the thick was still on the bottom. So I stir it each time I use it, and you'll see the color, change when you stir it up. Yeah, and it does bubbles too. Yeah. I mean, be quiet. She hasn't even opened hers. She's telling you what to do. Oh my goodness. You guys are crazy. Okay, ladies, thank you again as always for keeping me company. I got a lot done, and I will see you guys the next time I want to play in the Funky Fish, and maybe we'll do one more page of that before we get the other kit going out. Yeah, Miss Bossy. All right. Thanks again, ladies, and I'll see you guys soon. Good night.